The human fall. All people have an original mind which inclines them to pursue goodness. Yet even without our being aware of it, we are driven by evil forces to perform evil deeds, which we do not want to do. In Christianity, the master of these evil forces is known as Satan. We have been utterly unable to liquidate the forces of Satan because we have not understood Satan's identity or how he came to exist. This explanation of the human fall will clarify these issues. The root of sin. No one has known the root of sin. Christians, on the basis of the Bible, have held to a vague belief that Adam and Eve's eating the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil was the root of sin. Many Christians have thought that the fruit was that of an actual tree. Many important parts of the Bible are expressed in symbols and metaphors. Then what does the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil represent? To learn this, let us first investigate the tree of life, which stood next to the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. The tree of life symbolizes an ideal man who has fully realized the ideal of creation. It thus symbolizes perfected Adam. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil represents the ideal woman, perfected Eve. The identity of the serpent. In the Bible, we read that a serpent tempted Eve to commit sin. The spiritual being represented by the serpent was originally created with a good purpose, but later fell and became Satan. What kind of spiritual being in God's creation could have conversed with people, understood the will of God, and lived in heaven? What kind of being, even after its fall, could transcend time and space to dominate the human soul? Since there are no beings endowed with such characteristics other than angels, we must conclude that the serpent symbolizes an angel. The fall of the angel and the fall of human beings. From Jude 6:7 we can infer that the angel fell as a result of an illicit sexual relationship. From Genesis 3:7 we can infer that Adam and Eve sinned with their sexual parts. Hence, we can deduce that an illicit sexual relationship must have occurred between the angel and human beings. The fruit signifies the love of Eve. Eve's eating of the fruit denotes that she consummated a satanic love relationship with the angel. The root of sin. The root of sin is that the first human ancestors had an illicit sexual relationship with an angel symbolized by a serpent. As a result, they could not multiply God's good lineage, but instead multiplied Satan's evil lineage. The motivation and process of the fall. God created angels to be his retainers, servants, and ministering spirits. After God created human beings as his children, he loved them more than the archangel Lucifer, who was a servant. Lucifer, feeling as though he were receiving less love than he deserved, wanted to grasp the same central position in human society as he enjoyed in the angelic world as the channel of God's love. Thus he seduced Eve, and Lucifer and Eve formed a common base and fell. Fallen Eve then seduced Adam with the hope that by uniting with him she could rid herself of the dread and once again stand before God. Adam and Eve formed a common base and fell. Sin and fallen nature. Sin is a violation of heavenly law, which is committed when a person forms a common base with Satan, thus setting a condition for give and take action with him. Sin can be classified into 4 kinds: original sin, hereditary sin, collective sin, and individual sin. Eve inherited from the archangel all the proclivities incidental to his transgression against God when he bound her in blood ties through their sexual relationship, and Adam in turn acquired the same inclinations. These proclivities have become the root cause of the fallen inclinations in all people. They are the primary characteristics of our fallen nature. The primary characteristics of the fallen nature can be divided broadly into 4 types. Why God did not intervene in the fall. God, being omniscient and omnipotent, must have known about the fall of the first human ancestors. Why then did God not intervene to prevent the fall? God did not intervene in order to maintain the absoluteness and perfection of the principle of creation, that God alone be the creator, and in order to make human beings the lords of creation.